There is no relationship that has seen the day without arguments, without quarrels, without misunderstanding, without one-on-one bitter exchange or silent negative treatment. But the best one has always won and overcome all this. The only problem is there are some people who feel that in a relationship there mustn't be a quarrel or misunderstanding, which can never happen. And this can never happen because your spouse is someone you found when they are adults. You grew up in different backgrounds, and this one also makes you unique, different people brought together to stay under one roof. And that's why there must always be a balance between you two, and there must always be sacrifice, someone bending low, someone trying to skip or assume or leave or square the things. You can't all not be hot, you can't all not be cold. It can never work when an argument arises. So I wanted to walk you through an argument that extinguishes the bitterness, the fire, it cools and brings back the peace. So may I start by asking you, when arguing, when frustrated, what would be your aim? What would you be aiming at? What do you aim at when frustrated, when you start arguing, when you start a conversation, whether bitter or good? What is your aim? Where do you want it to end, or how do you want it to end? Do you navigate the situation in a way that allows it to grow, or your emotion drives you to a bitter breakup or to a bitter end? Do you fuel the fire, or do you extinguish it? What do you do? What's your aim when you start arguing, especially with your spouse? It's good to steer an argument to a progressive direction. It's good to steer it to a direction that will end in a peaceful manner, in a way that both of you will still feel accommodative. Both of you will still feel like, yes, I still want to proceed. This was just this and we've squared it. So how are we going to go about this? Number one, and I want you to get a pen and note it down. These small issues that we assume, they always help us big. Number one, don't confuse the topics. Some people, when they start talking, they confuse the topics. They talk about so many things. They bring the past issues. They started well, about maybe the person slept out, maybe the person talked arrogantly in front of the people, maybe someone ignored you. So if it is about that, stay in that topic, stay within that topic, stick to that topic. Most people, when an argument arises, they bring up many topics. They end up summarizing with accusations of what someone did years back, which will lead to a consistent fight. Because you started well, you started airing out, but then you bring everything. That is why you did this, that's why. So this person that you're talking to feels you are talking about him. He doesn't feel you. When the person you are complaining to feels like you are against him, you are talking about him, you are negatively approaching him or beating him verbally, this person will not understand you, and you'll end up having so many accusations and claims unsorted. Number two, air your complaint and quickly, when you are ending it, make sure it is directing it to the solution, a progressive solution. Make sure when you are now ending it, to hand over to the other person so that he or she may jump in, make sure it is directed to a solution that is good for you both. It's healthy to argue, but do not dwell and focus too much on the complaint. Dwelling on the complaint, you'll end up accusing and judging each other, which might even lead to physical fight, which might lead to a long time stigma, somebody not being himself or herself in the house. You shouldn't attack your spouse when you are bringing up a claim, when you are trying to bring up a need that is not satisfied. When your need is not satisfied, stick to that claim, stick to that need, so that you can give the other person time to also see where he or she went wrong. Number 3, stop the usage of you. Stick to I. It is you complaining. It is you whose needs have not been met. It is you who have been wronged. It is you who feel not satisfied. It is you who have seen the wrong. Somebody might wrong you and they don't know they have wronged you, or they might do something thinking it's right and they are wrong. So how are they going to know if you keep pointing at them? It is you who has been wrong. So stick to the word I. By this, you let that person understand the situation or what you are going through. Stick to I. All your statements, let them be I. I don't feel good, or this is not right, or it's not sitting well with me because of 1, 2, 3. Not, you always do this to me. The person will feel judged. He will feel judged, and he might not be in a position to help you. He or she might not be in a position to work it out with you. They might not be in a position to help you go through anything. Another thing, which is 4, your spouse is not an angel. The person you are arguing with, be it your mother, your father, your sisters, your friends, whoever you are arguing with, whoever you are giving your claim, is not an angel to know what is in your head. They are not angels to know what you are going to say. They are not God or Holy Spirit to know and foresee what you are going to say. So don't assume that they know what you need. Don't assume that they know what you're going to say. Don't expect them to come with an answer before you speak. So always say it. Don't go and beat around the bush. Say it as it is. Make sure they know what you are talking about. 5. Sometimes we end up arguing. What should I say? We end up arguing about arguing. I think that's the right word. I'll still repeat it that way. A healthy argument does not need you to speak on top of your voice. If you do, you'll end up with no solution. You'll end up with no solution because you'll end up yelling, you'll end up bitter, and even the other person will start yelling or might move away, leaving you talking alone without solution, or hitting back on you. Why? Because you did not give them space. You cannot sort a problem by yelling. It has never worked. You cannot sort a problem by becoming so bitter. You cannot sort a problem by not giving space to someone. You start by yelling. Like me, if you start by yelling, I will move away and my people know me. The moment you start at a higher note, I will not even want to listen to the end. I will move away because I know myself. When I start, it is going to be fire. And so fire with fire in a relationship, in an argument, can never come to a good conclusion. Never. So since I learned that, I pull out. I leave you to brag. I leave you to do anything you want. Then I'll come when you are now sober and calm. Last, when you two have reached a solution, make sure to wrap up that argument with an encouraging word. Seal it with something that will make someone feel like they still want to talk to you. They can still greet you without any problem. You can seal it with a hug. You can seal it with a thank you for listening to me. You can seal it with thank you for giving me an ear. You are the best. You can seal it with a hug. You can seal it with a peck. You can seal it with a lovely word, some encouraging words, so that next time you two can be in a position to meet each other, knowing that there is nothing that is hindering you, there is nothing that is blocking you, the other person is okay with it. Just seal it. Most of the times we we pretend or we assume that we have finished, but somebody goes with a bitter heart, a heavy load, because there was nothing encouraging or inspiring that was told to this person. So when you're sealing an argument, when squaring it, when you've reached a conclusion, the best way and the best thing is to seal it with something appropriate, something that puts you on a free mode. You be free with each other. You feel free with each other. And that's a hug, that's a peck, that's encouraging and inspiring words. Just let this person know you are okay with it and it's done, and that's all you needed. Thank you so much, Queen Olo. In the comment section, YouTube, Southern Court of Wisdom, Culture and Heritage Restoration. Same to the page. My personal page is Queen Olo. Twitter, you find me at Queen. Thank you.